Technology skills are essential for many everyday tasks. Older people recognize the value of technology and are eager to learn. New technology users need a little extra help getting started. This program pairs volunteer technology trainers with adult learners to provide individualized lessons. This program creates an opportunity for self-paced learning, allowing the adults to receive as much or as little help as they require to enhance their technology skills. In this lesson, we will learn about learning styles, increase our understanding of our personal learning styles, and learn how we can use learning styles to enhance our skills as volunteer technology trainers. We are going to learn about how we perceive, organize, and remember information. Together, these characteristics form our learning style. We are all fundamentally unique people who learn in different ways. Understanding these differences will provide strategies for teaching adults new skills. When we find that one method of explaining a task is not working, understanding learning styles provides the foundation we need to modify our teaching to meet the needs of adult learners. One style of learning is not better than any other. The variety of ways we learn adds great value to our efforts as both students and teachers. Let's start with perception. We perceive information concretely and abstractly. Please note that this is not an either or situation, but a continuum. Think of it as a long line with purely abstract perception at one end and purely concrete at the other, with many small increments in between. So how do we describe abstract perception? If we are towards the abstract end of the continuum, we are often able to visualize something that is not seen. We can see the end product with only raw materials. Abstract perception tends to be intuitive and read between the lines, not always taking what is said simply at face value. If we perceive things in a more concrete way, we are more likely to rely on what we experience through our five senses and dealing with what is before us instead of wondering about what might be. Now, while we use both abstract and concrete perception each day, we are generally one side more than the other, and this is our dominant or preferred method of perception. For instance, if our natural style is more concrete, we may prefer to listen to an idea in a direct, literal, no-nonsense type of manner. In contrast, if our perception is more abstract, we may often pick up on more subtle clues from someone as they communicate. Two people with different perception characteristics could listen to the same conversation and come away with completely different interpretations, yet both are correct. Next is how we organize the information we perceive. This is another continuum with random at one end and sequential at the other. If we are a random organizer, we take information in as chunks. We tend to see the big picture right away. Steps and sequences are not as important to us because we seldom lose track of the general goal. We often prefer action to in-depth planning and may come across as spontaneous. To a highly sequential person, we seem to run without a plan. If we are a sequential person, we like to operate in a linear, step-by-step manner. We have a well thought out plan and follow the steps carefully. We much prefer a logical thought process and will ask tough questions of the more random people in the group. We can be perceived as being less flexible. A good way to know how we like to organize things is to consider how we like to do math. If we like to write out all the steps, we're probably sequential. If we find writing steps to be tedious, we are probably a random organizer. Finally, we will talk about how we remember things. Take a look at this word, Floccinaucinihilipilification. The act of estimating something as worthless. The strategies we use to remember how to spell this word provide a good indication of how we remember things. We remember things in three general ways: hearing, doing, or seeing. If we have to hear it, practice it out loud, or create a song, we are likely auditory learners. If we require movement to learn, such as writing it out 10 times, or tapping our fingers on the table, we may be a kinesthetic learner. As visual learners, we have to see it. We might create pictures in our minds or see patterns in the letters. All the things we've been talking about are factors on a continuum. We are not only one way or the other, and we can move depending on the circumstances. Understanding our learning style can help us when we are teaching adult learners to use technology. During the holiday season, an adult learner wanted to make a Christmas Carol book. As she was working with her volunteer technology trainer, random ideas about what she could do to create the book kept emerging. She was an abstract person who was able to see the possibilities with only a few parts. A concrete volunteer technology trainer might have struggled to figure out exactly what she wanted to do during her lesson time. Understanding learning styles helps us to teach new technology users. As we are working with adult learners, we can figure out how they learn by observing, listening, and experimenting. We start by observing their behaviors. We should consider what teaching strategies led to successful learning. For example, a new user was struggling to understand the home screen on her iPad, so the volunteer technology trainer drew a picture of 3 boxes on a piece of paper. She wrote widgets in the left box, home in the middle, and other in the right box. The volunteer technology trainer used this picture to explain what happens when the adult learner pressed home or swiped left and right. Because of the use of a visual aid, the adult was able to learn the concept of home and basic iPad navigation skills. How the adult communicates with us also provides some clues. For an example, an adult learner may want to know a lot of details about a particular task. This person is likely to be a concrete sequential learner. As a result, they are more likely to prefer learning in an organized, step-by-step way. In contrast, a concrete random person may only want to learn what is necessary to perform the task. If we find one way of teaching or explaining a concept to an adult learner is not leading to success, experiment with other strategies. For example, if we compare the concept of the internet to a map and it doesn't click, try comparing it to something else. Learning styles impact how we learn, so we want to provide some tips for working with each style. Concrete sequential people like to learn in more consistent and organized ways. They like to follow instructions. An abstract sequential learner likes specific goals. They will likely want to know the logic or reason for the way specific tasks are performed. They want time to think about and process new skills. An abstract random person will likely be able to read between the lines. They are less likely to want step-by-step instructions. They appreciate feedback on how they are doing. Even if you show them an easier way of performing a task, an abstract random person may still prefer to do it their own way. Concrete random learners want to know what, as opposed to how they are doing. They are more likely to experiment and try new things. They may want you to show them a task and then let them try it independently with minimal feedback. Now that we understand learning styles and why they enhance our ability to teach adults technology, we are ready to move to the next module where we will learn strategies to teach adults technology.